Winter is about to be over. I'm glad it's over. It's been cold. Let's get into this edition of Whiteboard Weather. Okay, we have a whiteboard, and of course we have some weather, so let's get into it. Let's grab a marker here. Let's get crazy. But many of you are thinking, oh, spring is March 20th. Well, according to the Earth calendar, it is, but according to Meteorological winter, it is on 3-month segments. It starts March 1st, ends would be May 31st, and then summer starts June 1st, so it's kind of a little bit earlier. It's just for record keeping and data keeping. So first thing that we always do is we gotta interact with the board. Is we update our snow ruler. And where is my purple marker? The purple marker that I usually update the board with. Right here. For now, we're going to call an audible because I can't find it. Let's update the ruler. We are now at 36.9 inches here on February 25th as I'm recording this. I'm recording this at night, so you're probably seeing this a little bit later than that. But yeah, we were supposed to have this big snowstorm that ended up not coming to fruition. I'm going to flip the whiteboard and show you kind of what happened. So this was my prediction last week. I haven't touched this at all. My prediction was 2.6 inches. So there were two models last week, the GFS and the Euro. The GFS had it hugging towards the coast, becoming a blizzard, and the Euro had it going out to sea. Well, the GFS was right. It developed into a blizzard. We had places on Rhode Island that got 38 inches. Providence, Rhode Island, New York City saw about 20 inches. We had places like Trenton that saw 16 inches. Philadelphia saw 14 inches. But us in Pennsylvania only saw 1.3 in a WNEP backyard. Williamsport saw 2, and then Mount Pocono saw about 5 to 6 inches, depending on where you were. So this GFS track was pretty much right, but last second, it shifted. And so the Euro model was technically right when it was outputting our totals for snow. It was saying 1 to 3, some elevated areas 4 to 6, which we ended up getting. But the Euro had it not developing into a snowstorm. So that's why we can't say anything definitive 4 to 5 days in advance. So I just threw out a guess, 2.6. I ended up being right, but for all the wrong reasons. There were models a couple days before showing us getting more snow than that. So we got a little bit lucky here. Now, off camera, I'm losing everything today. Oh, there it is. I found it. It was over there. But yeah, we got a purple marker. I'll update that in a second. But what I wanted to show you is what's happening next here across northeast and central Pennsylvania. So yeah, the biggest snowstorm in decades for Rhode Island. I think it was their biggest the highest amount total for any snowstorm ever. That's not going to happen here coming up, no doubt. But we have a couple more chances for some snowfall. So what's happening now, we know Lake Erie pretty much is frozen over, so the lack of supply to moisture is going to help us not accumulate that much as far as lake effect. Any snows here coming up, that's going to help us. But there are two main chances for snow. The first one is going to be along a front. Fronts are good with lifting mechanisms as warmer air that's on the bottom gets lifted up. And basically, I'll show it actually. Warmer air gets lifted up by a front that moves. It condenses, it cools, and then turns into snowflakes if it's cold enough. So a front will be passing in for us, coming in from the north and west, and that's going to allow for some snow showers. These types of snows are really lake enhanced for us, so not expecting a whole bunch. So this is going to happen on Sunday. And not expecting a whole bunch of snow, maybe a couple flurries. But the next chance for snow is going to be along with another low pressure. This one is not going to form off in the Atlantic, it doesn't look like. And again, this is pretty far in advance. I'll put Monday. So back-to-back days, chances for snow. This one, we don't know how it's going to materialize this yet in the track, but it's going to be a low pressure that converses across the United States. It's going to originate in the Rockies. It's going to travel across the United States. And with it, it's going to pick up moisture, a little moisture from the Gulf, likely, And we don't know where it's going to go, whether it's going to track for us here in Pennsylvania. We get a pure snow, maybe even some rain, or further south, and it completely misses us. So that is more of a TBD. It's kind of a cop-out, but especially when you're doing this far in advance, we can't say anything definitive. So keep your eyes open on Monday. Some models are hinting at we get a little bit of snow. But I want to go back. We usually never go back and forth, but I want to go back to show you what this winter has been like, because man, oh man, it's been cold. So I want to talk about the records that we broke in the Scranton area this winter. And it happened on February 8th. We had a record low-high temperature, tied, record low-high temperature. It only got 10 degrees that day. That weekend it was very cold. And that's about it. That was all the records we set this entire winter. You figured it was cold. It was just prolongedly cold. It was just the fact that we had that day was stretching the teens and 20s for about a week and a half, and that was it. Yeah, only one record to show for this entirely cold winter. So next thing I want to do, the final thing I guess with this episode, I want to talk about the 3 things that I'll remember from this winter. Personally, the things that we're going to talk about, the blizzard of '96. We don't really talk about cold air outbreaks, but in the 80s, there's a lot of cold air outbreaks. What am I going to tell my kids? What are you going to tell your grandkids? Everything like that. So things I'm going to remember is that big snow event. Here we go. This is this one right here on the right side of the board. 9.7 inches in the WNEP backyard. It was a nor'easter type system. It was a different originating one. So we had that blizzard type. It was not a blizzard, so big snowstorm. 25th. So that's something I'll remember. The next thing I remember is what we talked about, that long cold stretch. We had 18 days, straight days, below freezing. I'll just put 32 to save some space. We had 18 days straight below 32. That was the tied second longest streak in Williamsport history, and I think the tied 6th longest in Scranton history, if I remember it correctly. But yeah, that really long, cold stretch. And the third thing, if you had to force me to pick a third thing, it's just the fact that there's no stat to it. It's just the fact that it didn't warm up. Just for perspective, the warmest temperature we usually see during January is about 57. The similar case for February. We had that one brief warm up in mid-January, but the fact that it didn't warm up, we had ice everywhere, and the toboggan slide opened back up. One of the coldest winters, now 2 winters in a row. It didn't warm up, and that allowed us to enjoy some wintry fun. So it's a little bit of light-hearted things at the end. So the winter is officially over. This is the last episode. Next week will be March. Winter is over. Thank you so much for tuning into this edition of Whiteboard Weather, and I'll see you next time.